Someone shared a list of Claude cheat code that promised to save hours of work. I tested every single one and most of them are completely fake. Nothing, it just wrote a proposal, same as if you had typed nothing before it. The command did absolutely zero. Beast mode, no filter, L99, share everywhere, dozen of posts, people swearing by them, all of them doing nothing that a normal sentence would not do. But here's what I found when I kept going. Some of these codes do work not because Claude has a secret mode, but because certain words activate specific reasoning frameworks. Here are the 5 that actually change how I work. This is what your notes look like after a client call. Messy, scattered. You know what's in there, but finding it at 11 p.m. before a follow-up call is a different story. Same information, completely different document. Structure, labeled. Something you had actually opened before a call instead of scrolling through your own notes trying to remember what he said about reports. Dossier tells Claude to produce a reference document, not a summary. The difference is a summary tells you what happened. A dossier tells you how to handle the person. Raw notes in, professional reference document out. One code under 10 seconds. Pareto applies the 80-20 rule to whatever list you give it. Not recorded the list, not summarize it, tell you which 20% drives 80% of outcome and which items are just noise dress up as tasks. 3 items each with a reason. The overdue invoice, cash flow doesn't wait. The client presentation, showing up underprepared is expensive. The wrong contract, a legal problem only gets worse if you leave it. The other 7 do them if there's time. Don't let them eat the day. I tested what should I prioritize today without Pareto. Claude listed everything back at me with softer language. That's not prioritization, this is. You have sent a version of this message. Everyone has. It feels polite. It's actually doing damage you can't see. Watch what audit does. It doesn't just rewrite it, it tells you exactly what hurting the original. Over apologizing, filler phrases, double hedging, weak opening. Then gives you 2 versions, one tighten, one with a nudge added, and it cuts 40% of the words while keeping the friendly tone completely intact. That's not editing, that's a structural audit. Use audit on anything before it leaves your screen. Emails, messages, proposal, anything. Premortem. You know postmortem, what went wrong after the fact. Premortem asks, it's 4 weeks from now and this fell apart. What caused it? Claude doesn't give you a generic risks list. It models the failure from the other person's perspective. Claude doesn't give you one risk. It breaks the failure into 3 angles. The proposal itself, the relationship gap, and their side of the table. Price appear with no anchoring. £2,500 lands differently if they haven't mentally connected it to a specific outcome they want. That's not a payment objection, that's a communication failure. You named the number before you sold the result. Then it gives you 3 things to fix before you hit send. Specific, actionable, in order. That line alone is worth the 30 seconds it took to run this. Wargame puts Claude in adversarial mode. It plays the other person and it doesn't go easy. 6 objections in the order you are most likely to hear them. The budget just isn't there right now. It even tells you that's a deflection designed to end the conversation, not defer it. 12% is quite a jump. What are you basing that on? They are not saying no. They are testing whether you have done your homework. You have grown into the role, but that's what we expected of you. A subtle reframe that turns your extra work into just the job. For every single one, Claude tells you what needs to counter it. You walk in having already had the hard conversation once. That changes everything about how you show up. 5 codes, all tested, all real. Copy these. Try one today. See what changes. If this video helped you, hit the like button. Subscribe for more videos like this. Thanks for watching.